but in any kind of conflict situation, interpersonal or otherwise, starting with ourselves is really important. So we always talk about how peacemaking is both an internal and an external exercise. And the internal part of that is doing the work of self-interrogation. So if you think about, like my ability to change somebody else is about zero, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, my only real opportunity is to try to deal with my own stuff and bring change, in my own life. And so the more I can be honest about how I'm not living up to my own values, my own hypocrisies, my own, the things I'm doing, that's my best play. And it also works out communally. Like, I live in Washington, D.C. I worked on the Hill for a long time in politics today, which is completely the opposite of all the things that we teach, right? To be honest with you. But in politics today, if I'm a Republican, it's easy to blame Democrats all day long for the bad things that I think
Yeah,
they're doing.
yeah,
And my ability as a Republican to bring about any kind of change in democratic behavior is really zero. In fact, it might be minus zero because maybe my speaking out makes it worse, right? Makes them more
100%.
more, double down on what they're doing, whatever. But my best ability to bring change is to make sure I'm being as healthy as I can be, and that my team, my community, my political tribe is holding itself to its own values and trying to be, not be hypocritical, and to live out what we're trying to do and do it in a generative way. And, and like, that's my play. So that's what self-interrogation is about. So it's about doing your own work, rather than trying to change the person that is your adversary, whether it's your spouse, whether it's a colleague.
Right.
Like, our ability to change other people is really limited, and we just need to be honest about that. It's not to say that sometimes people don't need to change. They, if they're doing bad things, they need to change their behavior. But just being appreciative of that, my most important work sometimes is to make myself healthier. And if I do that, then that may create a space in which there's an opportunity for a different kind of relationship, a different kind of conversation, a different way. And somebody else may also change as a result. Our own transformation actually creates a space for others to be transformed as well.
Right. What was it? This is actually one of the quotes I had in my binder from the trip. But was it Rumi that said something like, when I was young, I wanted to change the world, but when I became more wise, I decided I just need to change myself. Something
Change
like that,
myself.
right?
Yeah, that's pretty direct. That's a good quote of Rumi's.